What are you talking about? If I can stick my foot in my mouth, I'll figure a way to do it.
Looking at your art, I feel like I'm reading a diary. I feel like I know you. So, like, no, seriously,
Yeah.
like I understand.
Yeah.
How were you able to, like, literally hang your vulnerability up on the walls?
Yeah, that's, you have no, that is a real, I'm going to steal that as a matter of fact. Just so y'all know, I'm giving her credit. That's going to end up in my artist statement. So, I'm just giving her credit right now. So please continue, give me more.
That's the question.
No.
Like, how did you find that, like,
So let me see if I'm hearing you correctly. You're asking, like, where does one, where do I, or how can I put it up?
Hang yourself on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you do that?
Yeah.
I didn't for a long time. I would make work, and then I'd roll it up, and then I'd put it away, and it wouldn't see the light of day for months or years even. I started working with art students at the upper level. And I would hammer them, and I mean hammer them about getting their work out there and how, you know, being authentic and vulnerable and expressing it in new and innovative ways, and right. I was commanding, right, and rightfully so. I'm not going to apologize for that. But what I did always feel remarkably guilty about was when students would say, "So, where's your work?" you know, like, you are just like destroying us on getting this out there and like writing and this, that, and the other, and like, so let's see some of the work. And I would always give them some, to be perfectly honest, some bullshit answer about artistic integrity. If I'm being honest, I'd hide behind the idea of I couldn't because I felt that there wasn't a market for it, or there wasn't a place for it to be experienced correctly, or any number of reasons, right? I could put the blame onto something else, and I could hide behind the idea of it's not me, it's them, right? They don't understand, no one understands, poor me, where, poor me, right? I could hide behind that. Which is a pretty lonely place, because you isolate yourself quite a bit when you decide that that's the way you're gonna be. It wasn't until last year that one of my students called me on it. I mean, flat out called me on it. Walked into my office, which is the drawing studio, and said, "Hey, I don't believe you. You're telling us this, that, and the other. Why aren't you this, that, and the other?" Oh, man. And I had nothing to say. I didn't have anything to say because that was the truth. She had seen through it, and so I had to say, okay. I says, "No, you're right. You're absolutely correct." And I said, "I'm sorry that I'd kind of been leading from the back, right? I'm just telling you, do this, move over there, and you're going to find that spot. You'll be okay." And she said, "But I think you should start showing again." And I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then there was an empty space on a wall down here, the last show, there wasn't enough work. And so I had asked Sam, I says, hey, do you think it'd be okay if I just snuck one of my works up there, you know? Just cause, I mean, we got no other, you think I could just toss it up there, you know? And I wasn't even gonna put my name on it, and nothing, I was just gonna kind of slap it up there to put something on the wall. And then she said, well, you gotta put tag on it. And I didn't want to, I desperately didn't want to. But then she's like, no, you gotta put tag on it. So I'm like, fine. I'm putting a tag on it, all right? I put a tag on it. And I had stress dreams, I ain't gonna lie. I had stress dreams about that. Because I didn't want to face the criticism, right? I didn't want to face the criticism, or maybe even not the criticism, but the idea of the criticism. That's even worse than the criticism, you know what I'm saying? Like the worrying about the criticism that may or may not come, but maybe didn't come, which it didn't, which I was fully ready for, but it didn't, and honestly, I was shocked. So when we were putting this up and we needed something up here again, I said to Lamar, I said, hey, do you mind if I put this up here? Like, we don't have to say nothing about it. I can just put it up and it's there to cover the walls, and that's it, right? And so yeah. Put it up. So I put it up, and then there was the opening, and Pete was like, well, aren't you going to put tags? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get to the tags. I'm totally getting to the tags. Swamped, getting to the tags. Don't worry, tags are coming. I didn't put them up. I didn't put them up until, what was it, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? A week and a half ago? It was fairly recent that I finally came in to put the tags up. And again, I didn't want to. I did not want to face the criticism. And I think, as I'm standing here, even if you guys said, this sucks, I hate you, which would be fine, right? I honestly don't think it could be any worse than what was already in my head, what I had already told myself in my head, right? So, if you don't like it, I mean, please don't tell me it sucks. You could just say you don't like it, but it's not going to be any worse than what I've done to myself. It's not going to be any worse than what I have done to myself for all that time. So, to get to your question now, finally, as that giant lead up right here, how can I put it up there? I can put it up there because I've already suffered the criticism. I've already suffered the shame. I've already suffered all that. And so anything else wouldn't matter anymore. And I'm learning that it's not the critic who matters, right? It's not the critic who matters. Man, I wish I was smarter. I could recite to you that Theodore Roosevelt speech from 1914. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I wish I could remember that off the top of my head. Not that smart though. But if you don't know it, you should look it up. That Theodore Roosevelt, and I think it's actually entitled, it's not the critic that counts, or something like that, from 1914. If you haven't seen it or read it, you should look at it. It's brilliant. I put it up in every classroom for my students. So that's how I can do it Because if I don't, then I have no place. I have no right to teach anybody. If I was unwilling to face the thing that I was afraid of, but I'm telling them, go do it, right? Like I'm kicking them to do it, but I won't do it, then I had no right to do it. So that's how I can put it out there. I'm still afraid, right? If I can tell you anything, if I can tell you specifically anything, is do it afraid anyway. Just do it. I mean, you're scared? Do it. You have no idea. You have no idea what's going to come to you when you take that step, man. I'm not even joking. Like, as soon as you move, everything else moves too. And God, whatever you want to call it, is waiting for you to move first. They're not coming to you. You got to go to it. So, I see you. You can't hide from me. Do it afraid anyway. Don't do it the way I did it. Don't do it the way I did it. Because I did it wrong. You know what I'm saying. I ain't got to tell you. Any other, yeah.
I don't have a critique. I would love to tell you, John, that your art is absolutely amazing. And you are extremely talented. And you suck so much that four pieces spoke to me so loud that you think I didn't spend any time, but I walked by them and it was just like that.
Yeah.
So you're amazing. I mean, seriously. I mean, absolutely amazing. Don't beat yourself up because this is like ridiculous. Like, you look at these pieces and I'm like, who the hell is he? Really?
So, truth be told, can I spill a little tea on her for just a minute? Let me spill a little tea.
Oh my gosh, I have opened my mouth.
Now I got it. So, she runs a storytelling group out of Homewood at where are we?
Grady's Grill.
Grady's Grill, and she's brilliant. She and Diane are the reasons that I actually opened up enough to do that too. So I actually owe you to. She tells a great story. Don't let her fool you. So does this one.
It's amazing.
So they're in their own right. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm dead serious. 4 pieces spoke to me, and I could tell you which ones are there in private.
Okay, all right.
In private.
I will wait for that conversation later. Yeah.
I noticed when you first started talking, that you touched 4 of the paintings in an almost sensual way.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt something on some of them. And I noticed on a couple of them also, you're staring at them while you're collecting your words, and you're not going to touch them. Is there something, are each one of the you said each one of these is a conversation. Do you remember each conversation that started the piece of art?
Maybe not specific in language, but I could probably tell you what it was. I could probably tell you it was, oh God, please. And then you add,